Today's episode of Dungeon Crawlers Radio is brought to you by Gamers Inn, your one-stop location for all your gaming needs. Located in Lehigh City, Utah, their fun and friendly staff will be more than happy to answer any of your gaming needs. Just remember, Gamers Inn, it's where adventures begin.
It's time to power up.
Autobots, roll out! Broadcasting live from the DCR studio.
Oh yeah!
The Geek Revolution starts here.
Excellent!
Get ready for the #1 hit geek radio show out there.
Well, it is impressive, isn't it?
Because it's time for Dungeon Crawlers Radio. Let's get ready to rumble!
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Alright everyone, welcome to another episode of Dungeon Crawlers Radio, where we're in the midst of a giant
Construction?
cavern of doom that's under construction. Yes, that's right.
Beep,
The residents have moved in. They're installing the minions, they're installing their traps, they're installing all the wonderful gizmos and doodads that kill every adventurer that ever comes into a cavern of doom.
There's a Jason Voorhees watching me right now.
There is, and there's
And I don't want to look
there.
over because I will scream.
There are some gates over there.
The gate to hell, or the Rocky Mountain Haunters.
Yes. There is a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man somewhere in
That's
here.
important. That's important to know.
And a giant pirate ship.
And an ectomobile.
Yes. So, and there's lots more. So for those of you that are scratching your head wondering what the heck you're talking about, we are currently recording from the Halloween Expo here in Sandy, Utah, at the Sandy, Utah Expo Center. So for the
Very
next,
exciting.
So for Friday, today, Saturday, and Sunday, you can come stop by, say hello to us, maybe meet a few authors, and see what all this is about, because I have to find some really cool Halloween stuff. And there are people screaming behind us. They are literally torturing kids here. That is horrible. Can you hear that? I'm sure people can hear that.
And I'm guessing me poisoning the patrons is going to be looked down upon for
There you go.
for Saturday.
Oh. Yeah, just never mind. That was me. I had you up way too high. Yes.
He's trying to turn you down. Did you see that?
Yeah. It's
Boys
better than turning her
are
on.
shafting me. Really? As I have
Where did
the
you two
chains.
just go? What was that?
She's
I have
she's
the
kinky.
chains wrapped around my neck.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
This
yeah.
is where you're going to go with
Yeah,
that?
she's being kinky. Scott's like, where am I?
What am I doing with my life?
See, you remember when you came out of the time stream, you actually went to an alternate reality. That's what happened.
Hey, we're going to talk about what turns me on, the new Star Wars trailer.
Yes.
Woo, yeah.
Star Wars.
Excited.
So, very interesting.
Very
Seems like
Empire Strikes Back.
we got a lot more interesting themes going on.
Very interesting themes. Can we start out with the fact that people have been saying don't watch the trailer, like who have been associated with the production?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Who said that?
That's just everyone, though.
Really?
I think so.
I don't think it was super spoilery.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't super spoilery. It definitely is like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
Especially with what Luke has said.
It doesn't.
The very ending. Yeah.
It doesn't paint. Well, honestly, neither trailer has really painted Luke in the best light. To be honest.
No, it hasn't. But I think we're gonna see a curmudgeoned, embittered Luke Skywalker.
Which
Yeah,
will be a nice,
because-
refreshing change.
Well, and here's the thing. I really feel like he is going to be they're building him up to be Obi-Wan, but not the nice Obi-Wan.
I was gonna say, like, even Obi-Wan was pretty decent, pretty nice,
Yeah.
and yet he saw everything shattered around him.
Yeah.
Luke saw, his school that he started burned to the ground.
Yeah.
That's
well,
tragic.
See, here's the thing.
But-
This is the thing that really bugs me so far is Luke has a setback and runs off like
Big setback, yes.
runs off like a little baby and hides, and now he's honoring. Hopefully there's more to the story, because let's face it, how many setbacks did he have trying to convert Darth Vader to the light? A lot. And
3
yet,
movies worth.
he was still strong and still convinced he could turn his father from the dark to the light. Yet his nephew does something and he runs away like a sissy. I'm sorry, this kind of bugs me.
So do you think we're ever going to find out, like, let's say we get not a prequel series to The Force Awakens, but sort of something in between a sequel and a prequel? Do you think they would build on that more so we can find out
If
how
they
it
do,
became
it
that
would
way?
have to be like Rebels or Clone Wars, where it's CG'd because they can't film that.
Well, they can't film that,
yeah.
but books or
So you're saying
TV
like a
series.
young Skywalker series is what you're
Not a
saying.
young Skywalker,
Well,
because
just what happens. Well, they did kind of do a prequel to Force Awakens, which was Aftermath and all that, and it sucked.
Yeah.
I'll admit it did not hold well. The author they brought in just poor. I mean, when you're describing a lightsaber and he's saying aluminum, which aluminum doesn't exist in the Star Wars world, but he's
he
using
said
things.
aluminum.
Yeah, he's using things that we know and we understand when he didn't need to. All he had to say was the metal tube or whatever, and stay in the Star Wars universe. But instead, and I really don't think he understood Star Wars, in my opinion. But I could be wrong.
I couldn't make it
Is that
through it.
you pitching yourself for maybe a future Star Wars book, Daniel?
No, I don't know if I'd want to take that on.
I don't know if I'd want that
I
responsibility.
know that's because an author I know, R.A. Salvatore, he wrote Vector Prime, and before they made all the movie changes and got rid of the extended universe, he was actually responsible for killing Chewbacca. Chewbacca died, not Han. Han went into this
Oh, I remember
depression.
that. I do remember that.
He was hated and reviled for the longest time because he killed Chewbacca off. Granted, he was doing
not the people in the book that
Yeah.
were reviled. The
Yeah.
author
Yeah.
was reviled.
Granted, he was doing what Lucasfilms told him to do, because they dictate what happens a lot.
Well, that presents another interesting story.
So
or
that
thought.
I don't know if I'd want to do that. Yeah. So as cool as it would be, I don't know. I mean, it really, really would be cool to
No.
write a Star Wars book.
I don't know. I don't
You
know
say
if I
no?
could handle that responsibility. Now, if it was a Ghostbusters book, I'm down.
Yeah.
I could handle that. That I could handle.
I would like to do a Star Wars graphic novel.
Yeah. So let's look at the trailer. The Porgs.
I think they're adorable, but that's me playing my
had
girl
the-
card.
He had what, like half a second?
I'm sorry. This is the Porg, or Porgs, or whatever they are the Jar Jar Binks of this
How can
trilogy.
you say that? You haven't even seen much of him. You've seen half of like 7 frames
No.
of him.
You're right. We don't know what they're going to do, but this is why I say they're the Jar Jar Binks, because they've thrown them in there to attract the kids. Really, that's the only reason they're in there, in my
think?
opinion. And that's why the only reason Jar Jar Binks was thrown in there was to attract the children. So hopefully
parenting
they've
done
learned,
wrong.
and it's not going to be like Jar Jar Binks how he really was, but it's just thrown in there to be cute and cuddly, and it attracts the kids. Because so far they're just not doing it for me, and I really want to kick them.
All right, I'm going to put myself out on the line here.
Okay.
And I'm going to go on record as calling you wrong in advance because we haven't seen the movie. We
Yep.
have no idea. But
That's
I'm
true.
betting it's going to be more like BB-8, who when we first saw him was this soccer ball with a head.
That I still
And-
want to kick.
Who, yes, I still want to kick him too, but who we thought was just this awkward comic relief that wasn't going to work. And yet, he worked
Well,
fairly decently. He
but
didn't
he
work
w-
as good as R2 in my opinion. I'm not as endeared to him as I am R2.
Yeah, well-
but for the most part, people enjoy BB-8
No.
as a
Okay,
character.
so BB-8 as a character is great, and I knew it was going to work because he's an astromech droid. Every astromech droid that they have put out as a main character we've loved. Chopper.
Oh, I love
Crotchety,
Chopper.
old droid that just as ornery as can be,
Well,
but we love him. R2, we love him. BB-8, yes. Is BB-8 my favorite? No. Out of those three, he's the third. It's R2, Chopper, then BB-8.
well, and the thing about
But
it
they're-
is they have given them personalities too.
Well,
BB-8 didn't really have one. He's more of a child, I would think.
He
in
definitely is
personality.
more of a child personality, but what made me like BB-8 is that that moment when he's talking with Finn and he pops out his blower and it's like a thumbs up. I'm like, okay, I can dig him. But he really just he seemed more of a hindrance than anything, in my opinion.
As adorable as he is, and I do have a backpack of him, I would say I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because R2 growing up wasn't really my favorite either.
That's okay.
He's-
R2 is my favorite.
See, and for
If
me,
I could, I
loved
would
R2.
have a full-size R2 unit in my office.
You can. You just can't. You just don't want to afford it.
I can't afford it right now. I've looked. Like, the cheapest one is like $5,000.
Jeez.
Get us a garbage can and we can make you one, Daniel. I'm
All right.
saying, as long as you don't need it to be accurate.
No, I want it accurate. If I'm gonna have an R2 unit, it better be accurate.
And what
it
I'm
doesn't
saying
need
is,
to move or beep. I just want it to sit in the corner and look awesome.
and I agree with you guys. Like I'm not as much of a BB-8 fan, but at the same time, as a populace, people are. People
I know.
like the droid.
I know.
I enjoy his character, but I'm not in love with him. But my point is, he had the comedy of Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
That Jar Jar was supposed to have.
Yes.
Being there, being kind of funny, but not being the central
They're
focus.
carting some dead bodies away.
Shh, Daniel. I
Chugga
don't want
chugga
to get
choo
arrested
choo.
yet.
Well, no, I feel like there should be someone going, bring out your dead. Bing. Bring out your dead. Yeah.
Or
Anyways,
my-
no, I mean, so
I'm just saying, like, I think that the Porgs might be okay.
Yeah.
That being said, maybe they won't be, and maybe they
Yeah,
will
I
be the
don't know.
next Jar
My
Jar.
question is, who's piloting the Millennium Falcon in that scene? Because it clearly wasn't Chewbacca.
it's
like-
probably Rey.
You think it's Rey?
Well, I mean, you saw her fly there with Chewbacca. Chewbacca's the co-pilot. Chewbacca, is, as always, is kind of the secondary sidekick character, and he's always going to be that. Even with Han gone, I don't think he's going to be a main character, really.
As much as I love Chewie,
It-
I just don't see it for him.
Wait a minute.
I mean,
If the Porg is coming with them, say from if the Porg is part of Skywalker Island there, it's not a very big island.
Yeah.
Maybe Skywalker isn't living off of moss. Maybe he lives off of Porgs.
maybe?
Would you like some light meat or dark Porg meat?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's Porg, the other white meat. Oh my gosh.
There it
I
is.
think Porgage is better.
Porgage.
Porgage?
Porgage.
Yeah.
It could be
I
Porgage.
don't know.
Oh my gosh. He's not
Okay.
Chewbacca's friend. He's a snack.
Yeah. So what do you think about the weird material that is covering Kylo's face
Oh, you mean
for
like
the scar?
like that plastic, like
Yeah.
metal kind
yeah,
of
it
mesh?
almost looks like Kevlar.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but don't they have Bacta tanks? I mean, come on.
Maybe he wants to be more like Grandpa.
Well, even Grandpa's scar looked better than that.
Grandpa's scar did, but
Yeah.
Grandpa was also a robot.
For the most part.
So
Maybe
I
this
don't
is
know.
like his first cybernetic implant.
I am actually. I'm not as opposed to the scar as I was originally because if at first it looked like it was just kind of a little above the eyebrow and then a little above the eye, but with that huge mesh type thing across the cheek, that's good. I still am a little frustrated that they didn't go the rest of the way, and it kind of curves when it didn't in 7. But okay, I can deal with it.
I can understand
It's
the
not-
continuity that they wanted to detract from. Like, I understand why they didn't go with it, but at the same time, I wish they would have gotten it right the first time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it is interesting that he's attacking the capital ship that Leia's on, and kind of seems like he's fully embraced his dark side. Now he's going after Mom.
Fully embraced. Did you see like the conflict in his his actions? Like, he's still conflicted.
You're right, but
He looks
it's
like
his
he's more
mom.
of an
I mean,
aggressor.
he
this
definitely
time
looks
around.
more of an aggressor. Where, before he was still fighting back and forth. I think he has embraced, and he totally goes in and starts attacking the ship. But maybe that Mom speaks to him, and that's what causes the hesitancy, which shows that there's still maybe some redeeming quality to him. But at the very end, there's a couple things I have to question. One, what Luke says. When he says, I've seen this raw power before, it didn't frighten me then, but it frightens me now. Or it should have frightened me then, but now it frightens me now. Tells me Rey was there. She was there when Kylo
Oh, so you
attacked.
think that he's talking about Rey's raw power?
Yeah. Because you see, as she stops the blade from hitting, and then the ground behind her
You didn't think he
cracks.
was talking about Rey? That's what I got as soon as I watched
and the ground
trailer.
behind her cracks, and he
I thought he was
looks
talking
down.
about Kylo
No.
as like the person who actually killed everybody.
No,
Oh.
because he's still on the island when he says that, and I think Rey was there. So
That would make sense if
I'm
they're
sti-
taking her away from the Jedi Temple to
Yeah.
Jakku.
Yeah, I'm still
That's
thinking.
true.
It makes me believe more and more that it's got to be his daughter. Rey has to be his daughter, and it frightened him so much, but he couldn't kill her, so he left her. I don't know.
Ah,
But
I
again,
don't
there's
know.
still
She's Luke's
there's
daughter.
There's still my theory that
I still think he's talking about Kylo and the fact that Kylo destroyed everything. Like, it should have scared him then, but it didn't.
no, because she's more powerful than he is,
He is more powerful. Or no, she is more powerful.
and
Yeah, but
and that was said right after that scene with her. But there is still my original theory that it is Kylo that cannot strike her down because he hasn't fully embraced the dark side. So he's the one that drops her off.
What's their age difference again? I can't remember.
Only a few years.
Negligible.
3
at
or
best.
4, maybe. I don't know. There's still so many questions that are
So
left
you think
unanswered.
they're cousins, not siblings?
They could be siblings. Maybe they are the twins, and there is a Jedi power that allows you to do a mind wipe, a memory wipe. Maybe Luke did drop her off and wiped the Solos of their memory, and then they're kind of literally the embodiment of Jason and Jaina Solo.
Well, it's not
I
like they
miss
haven't pulled
Jaina.
from the expanded universe before.
Which would totally make sense because in that storyline, Jaina goes after Jason because Jason is a Sith. And she is the more powerful of the two. I don't know.
Was she called Sword of the Jedi? Is she called Sword of the Jedi? I'd have to look that up again.
I can't remember. She was trained by Boba Fett to be an assassin. Besides being a Jedi, that was trained by Luke, and yeah,
She was my favorite.
Great
well, her and
character.
Yeah.
Mara Jade.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't know where it's going. It looks amazing. The AT-ATs look like they're giant Imperial gorilla beasts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That
mean,
looks
they've
awesome.
got this giant beam dish or something right above their neck.
They're
They-
definitely much more intimidating than they were in Empire.
The
that's
front
for
legs
sure.
look like the feet can hinge so they can climb. I don't know. They're definitely more intimidating than the Empire ones. But I do feel like they're kind of following the theme. This is going to be the Empire movie
Yeah.
because we have the AT-ATs in there. We have
I got serious Empire Strikes Back vibes when I watched that
Yeah.
trailer. I mean, especially seeing
see
like the ice
Snoke.
planet.
yeah. I mean, we're seeing Snoke. In
Well, is it a
real life.
desert? It's a white desert.
It's a desert.
Oh, it is a desert?
It's a desert. Yeah.
They called the little fox guys snow beasts, so that's why I said snow.
No.
Oh yeah, because they were like all crystallized.
Maybe.
Are those the same ones from Rebels?
They
think
could
are.
be.
I think they are.
Okay.
I don't know. It's. We'll see how everything comes together. I think they will blend Rebels in. I
They
know
already kind of did with them paging General Syndulla
Well, that was in Rogue One.
in Rogue One,
Yeah.
but still, that's the movies.
So it will be interesting to see what happens. We don't know what's going to happen with season 4 of Rebels.
I still need to watch season 3.
But
You know what's funny is if none of the stuff that's in the trailer actually makes it to the movie.
and it could. I mean, that's what they did with Rogue One.
But they haven't gone back for massive reshoots of this one.
Correct.
But then again, we haven't seen anything. Like it's been so quiet on the Star Wars front for so long.
Well, I
for this
think
movie.
honestly, I think we're not hearing much because we're hearing all the stuff that's happening with the Han Solo one. We're hearing all the stuff.
So the Han Solo
Carrie
trailer,
Fisher
that's
died.
one we can't actually trust.
I
As
don't
soon
think
as we see a
can.
Han Solo trailer, we're just going to be like, okay, well, that's
no,
a nice
I
idea.
think we can trust that, but I think they're using that to kind of fly under the radar because there could be.
It's a
could have
diversion?
been. There could have been. Well, no, I don't think it's a diversion. I think those things are really happening. But because that stuff is happening so much, you've noticed there's been very little that's come out about Episode 8. 7, there's stuff flying out left and right, and they're trying to do misdirects and everything. I think
Oh.
they're like, as much as this sucks, this is a perfect camouflage to fly under the radar because everyone's going to focus on this. But, and then we had the director leave for Episode 9. There just
I
seems
thought he was fired.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I was
So
confused
Gently,
about.
Yeah.
gently fired.
So there's just been a lot of stuff in the Star Wars universe that's kind of been able to deflect, so we haven't seen as much.
I almost cried when I saw Carrie Fisher in the trailer. I'm calling
I
it now.
know.
I'm going to play the girl card and
Well,
bawl
I'm
in
sure
the
everyone's
theaters.
going to, and there's going to be a in memory of Carrie Fisher at the end.
There better
in the
be.
In the credits, I'm sure they're going to have to do something with her character. So that's why I'm pretty sure there are going to be reshoots. Maybe he does blow up that ship.
Well, here's the question: Do you
You
think
know-
they're going to make this? Do you think they're going to make this more about Leia than it
Well-
was originally supposed to be? Like reinsert
they-
footage, sort of thing.
I don't know.
There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I mean, so the original storyline is there was supposed to be a final confrontation between Leia and Kylo in 9.
Yeah.
That obviously cannot happen. They obviously did not shoot that. There's no way they could have predicted what happened. So that character is going to have to end. I mean, that's the only way to do it. And
I don't see why you can't have another actress play it. I mean, I know it would be heartbreaking, but continue the story.
Not worth it.
No, I don't think they're going to.
They would have a revolt.
Look how much backlash
You
they
see,
got.
and that's why that bothers me.
Well, I'm
I mean,
just saying, look how much backlash they had just from having Tarkin in Rogue One, and then having a younger Leia.
Even though Carrie Fisher was still alive at that point,
well, and
and
she was ecstatic
said, okay.
about it. Yeah, I don't think fans will embrace it. I mean, as it is, they're having a rough time embracing the actor playing the younger Han Solo. I mean, and fair enough. I mean, these characters are ingrained. We've seen them forever looking like this. It's hard to see.
what about
someone
Ewan
else.
McGregor? I mean, we were able to embrace
But
him as
that's
Obi-Wan.
a little different.
Yeah, but
That's not a recasting of a character that could still be played by the actor.
Yeah.
That was an actor who had to be younger.
Yeah.
It's true.
And,
It's
So-
true.
yeah, and he did a fantastic
And
job.
he was
did.
fantastic.
He did.
Which is why I'm hoping we get that Obi-Wan movie.
Yeah.
I do hope that we get that.
They said there is going to be a trilogy or something, Obi-Wan.
What about
possibly.
Dumbledore? The guy who plays Dumbledore, didn't he play that in the first
Richard Harris.
2 movies, and then
And then he died.
and
they-
the new guy wasn't as good.
No, he wasn't, and Michael Gambon did that on purpose.
Yeah.
He specifically portrayed Dumbledore in a different
Yeah.
light so that they could distinguish between the two. Now, personally, I would have preferred Ian McKellen, but there's a whole
Yeah.
drama behind that,
Yeah.
as in Richard Harris hated Ian McKellen and didn't want him to do it.
Yeah. Well,
Oh no, that's true.
yeah.
Oh no,
So-
I know, and he also asked them to not recast anyone
Yeah.
Yeah.
on his deathbed, and that's kind of sorry.
Yeah.
Richard
So-
Harris was not he was a great actor, but he was not a very nice person.
So, what do we think with this trailer? Because we got to wrap this up real quick.
I'm excited, and I want my Jedi Ray costume so I can wear it during the premiere.
Okay, so what do you think about the brief scene with Finn and Phasma?
That was bad,
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
B word.
that does.
That was
That
awesome.
does look really cool. I'm glad they're gonna tie up that storyline because
Yeah.
it really
But
didn't
here's
have much of a. It wasn't. There wasn't fulfilling in the first
No,
one.
no. Phasma
It wasn't
was
enough.
very short. I think
They could have
and-
done a lot more with it.
And Finn looks like he's really embraced who he is. He doesn't have the lightsaber. That was a huge misdirect that they threw at us.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that.
Baton thingy.
He's got the baton.
Crowd control baton. Yeah.
Which looks pretty awesome.
It kind of reminds me of the Clone Wars batons that the droids had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called.
I
now,
can't remember
But
what
they
they're
can
called
stop a lightsaber.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Poe, I don't know. Poe seems to be a little bit more in the background this time.
Well,
he
you
was
know,
in the background
originally
last time too. He was supposed to die in Force Awakens.
Yeah.
he was supposed to die.
Yeah, he was supposed to
Yeah.
die in Force Awakens.
But then they changed that.
Well, I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fact. The fans fell so much in love with these characters, didn't they? Rewrite it originally. We were supposed to be introduced to 2 new characters, and they were supposed to take a much more aggressive role.
Yeah.
And then when Lucasfilm saw how much people were embracing Finn, Poe, and
Ray.
Yeah.
they cut
Bad
back on
geek.
those 2 new characters and just pushed those 3
Yeah.
back to the front.
Yeah, no, I think we have 4 really good, strong characters. I think Poe is up there, Finn is up there. I mean, because honestly, quite frankly, I think Finn was supposed to die. I mean, the way he was attacked, and that was supposed to be the end. But then they're like, no, people like this character a little too much, so he's carried on, which is awesome. I have worries of where they're going, because if this is an exact, almost identical duplicate of Empire, they're going to start having fans revolt. I mean, people were saying that 7 was so much like 4. I mean,
I saw
there are a lot of-
similarities, but
no,
to me there
are
was
a
enough.
lot. There's a lot.
There was
Is there a
enough
way to blow this
differences.
thing up? I mean, that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
I mean, they were just playing off of it. The trench run. There was a massive killer planet thing, except for this one killed more than one at a time, and you had the older guy bringing the younger Jedi-esque person. Yeah, I mean, there were so many things. There really was. So I hope.
And now we're
they
going to
break
see
away
the
from
Yoda character training the younger Jedi character, yeah?
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
Luke's already a lot different than Yoda because Luke's already a lot more, what's the word?
Isolated on a weird place where no one else
No,
is
not
looking?
that. I'm talking personality. He's a lot more.
He
He seems to be a lot more. I cannot get the
Do you
word out.
curmudgeon?
There we go.
Did you not see how Yoda was in the beginning? I don't know Yoda. He's somewhere over here. Oh, gimme.
That's joking.
I
Yeah,
know,
but here's the
he
thing is
still
that-
was curmudgeonly.
No
He was,
patience.
but Yoda was more
That's
of
the
a
curmudgeon-y.
Yeah.
he was more of a comic relief curmudgeonly.
In the beginning, yeah.
In the beginning.
But then he was still
Luke
kind of
just-
ornery.
Luke just looks ornery throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he
Now
just...
here's the question:
And
is
that's
he
what
gonna
everyone is
live?
saying.
Do you think he's
Yes.
gonna live?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think the title Last Jedi refers to Luke.
You think he will be the last Jedi?
Well, he is the Last Jedi.
Okay.
And from the sounds of it, it sounds like he will disband the Jedi Order completely, and then they will become what are considered gray Jedis. Again, speculation. They'll become what are considered gray Jedis, which embrace the light and the dark, which is
I
why
don't think it's a bad thing.
Which is why at the very end, you see her saying what she does to Kylo, and he's like, and he holds out his hands. That she needs to embrace both sides.
See, and that's why I think when it comes, I could do a whole show about my thoughts on the Jedi Order, but when it comes to the Jedi Order, I think there should be only gray Jedis because there has to be balance. You can't
there
favor
does.
one side or the other.
There does have to be balance. So, I don't know. It is a fantastic world, and there's lots of awesome stuff. So, we're out of time. But give us your thoughts, give us your ideas, because we want to know them, and you've seen the trailer too. So, with that said, we're out of here.
May the Force be with you.
Use the Force, Luke.
No!